For the fans. For the players. For all the news. Firebirds Weekly. This week's guest is Dontae Mason.
Yourself.
Oh, we don't want to have that.
No, we're good. We're good.
We're good. All right. Welcome to Firebirds Weekly, and we are at Gino's in Rensselaer, and they've been a great host to us. And my name is Adam Samarov, and to my extreme left is my other co-host Chris Ipperly, and in the middle, one of the defensive backs for the undefeated Albany Firebirds, Dontae Mason. Dontae, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
We are up close and personal tonight.
Yes, we're having to figure it out as we go and not get blinded.
As we were talking before, the sunlight was out and the sunlight did not do us any favors. But we're up and running. We're ready to go.
All right. So we were talking about your life a little bit, and talking about growing up in Philly. You said you played for some of the youth leagues, and then going to Bishop McDevitt. Tell me a little bit about that experience. Is it big? I'm not sure. Big school, small school. Like, what was your experience like playing for Bishop McDevitt?
Small school. It started out 2A Catholic League, but when it got to the state playoffs, we was a 1A.
Okay, so you're in the smallest division in the state.
Division, yeah.
Okay, and talk about playing there, like in terms of success and things like that. Like how successful was your teams when you were there?
We wasn't really successful, honestly, until I want to say my junior year. We lost in a city championship, but senior year we won the city championship and made it to semifinals. Quarterfinals and the state playoffs.
And it's tough. I mean, Pennsylvania, we talked to guys, Texas, Florida, we talked to guys from all over the country. And Pennsylvania is probably the number one state in the Northeast, definitely, maybe all the way up here for football. So, just talk about playing football in Pennsylvania and what that, the talent and what that means.
It's definitely a lot of talent. You got to be aggressive. You got to be one of the different breeds. It's physical and it's a physical, violent game in Philadelphia.
So you get to your senior year, and it's like, okay, now it's time to go to college. When was the first time you were like, hey, I think I can do this and continue to move up the next levels?
I want to going into my senior year, like that, that summer. That's when you really started to lock in and really go after it, because I seen what I could do my junior year. But then I'm like, all right, if I really take the initiative and really push myself, how far can I go my senior year?
See, I love asking that question for you guys, because we have our kids, right? The kids are, you guys are role models to the kids, and it's like, hey, look what I did. I went to class, I did my work, I did what I had to do to become a college athlete, I did what I had to do to become a professional, and I think that's a really cool thing that we are able to show the kids.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
So tell me about the recruiting process, how that went for you.
It was a little, being a smaller player coming from Philadelphia, it was definitely hard. I'm not the biggest guy, but they always said hard work beat talent.
Mm-hmm. If talent doesn't work hard,
so
you bet your ass.
So I always was working hard because I was the smallest guy, so I had to put in a little extra to be seen, or to get noticed. So I had to do a little bit more.
So then, tell me about your decision to go to Lock Haven, Division II, right, and staying home in the home state of Pennsylvania. Tell me about your decision to go there. Was it just football? Was it academics? Was it all of the above? Tell me about that decision to play for the Golden Eagles.
It was actually the decision based off of how they made me feel on my first. I went to a college open house, and when I went, I never forget it. Coach Kevin Smith, he waited to the end of the night, and he said, "You must be Dontae Mason." And I said, "Yes." He said, "I've been waiting for you all night." That's all. He got me sold. I'm going to Lock
Haven. There it is. He knew how to get the recruits.
Yep. And then once I went on the visit, it was like, all right, it felt like a nice little community, nice little.
It was like the final dance at the senior prom.
Yeah, exactly. It was cool. So
Saw you across the room. There's my guy.
yeah, so it was, like I said, it was a welcoming thing. So I was like, all right, yeah, I think I'm gonna go there.
All right, and again, doing some of the research, got a couple of chances in the freshman year. Obviously, that's always the toughest when you're going to college and true freshman. But then as a sophomore, make a lot more impact in terms of on the field. Just talk about that second year and just being able to have that much more part to that team and to the school.
Yeah. So my second year, I was a redshirt freshman. I got hurt my freshman year.
Mhm.
So going to that year, it was like I was more motivated because I seen what I was able to do my freshman year. So, and then having the guys behind me, like the upperclassmen, they were always telling me, "Oh, you got it, you got it. Just keep pushing, just keep doing this, doing that. Taking the tips from the upperclassmen and really applying it as an underclassman is like it's probably one of the best things that honestly you can do."
Well, another thing, like going back to my history is like you get hurt, and you quickly realize the game doesn't stop for you.
Exactly.
Like it's like, okay, so now it's okay. I'm out. Now I got to get back in. So doing the right things when you're unable to be in between the light lines is imperative in terms of being able to have that chance again.
Yes, sir. It is. That is like the biggest thing, getting your body right.
Was there one guy that was kind of took you talked about like getting tips from the upperclassmen and taking the wisdom from the guys that had done it before? Was there a specific guy, or was it just kind of the whole, like, all older guys would tell the younger guys like, hey, this is how you do it, this is how you become better, this is how you handle yourself?
It was I want to say it was like a little bit of everybody, but it was one guy that really stood out the most. My friend Daniel Strawbridge. He passed away, but that was the guy that took me under his wing and really like pushed me to like the limits. Like he would drag me to workouts. He would make me lift with him. Like he would, no, you're not lifting with nobody else. You're lifting with me. So that was the guy that pushed me like to the limits that I didn't even think I even knew, like as a freshman. So,
So did him doing that kind of help you build good habits down the road?
yes, because I still, to this day, those habits I still do. I still use.
It sounds like it's one of those things where you get up in the morning and you're like, God damn, I don't want to work out today, but then you're like, hey, if I'm going to get 1% better today, I got to do it.
Yes, like
Got to get in the gym.
without a doubt. Like I got a tattoo now, like of him on my arm. So every morning
He holds that significance.
every morning I look at that too, try to rub it. Let's go.
I love that. I love that. And then you go from sophomore, and then you're redshirt sophomore year, and you become one of the leading tacklers, 5 interceptions that year. Just talk about just kind of putting it all together in that 2018 year.
I think I was developing. I was more developed. I learned how to watch film. I learned the game. I was in the system now for 2 to 3 years, so I kind of got comfortable. I kind of learned it. And the biggest thing, like just having the right people around me, it helped me. The coaches helped me. And the one thing the coach told me that stood out was, it's okay to learn your job, but learning the jobs around you will help your game a little bit more, because then you'll know like what basically the areas, the void points, the weak
and
spots,
where they're supposed to be and all that stuff. So when you say learn how to watch film, you don't have to give up trade secrets necessarily, but when you say learn film, you used to watch it this way, but now you watch it that way. What's the biggest difference between how you used to do it and how you do it now?
Before I used to watch film, just basically like Coach Hobbs say, don't look at the result. Like I used to look at the result before.
Yep.
And when I had to learn, I had to break down tendencies and how when receivers break down, do they beat the drum? Do they drop their hands? Like how they break down. What is this guard doing in this instant? Like, is he light on his feet or is he heavy? Is he leaning forward? the quarterback, is he staring at a receiver or he looking off to look back? Like just little key tendencies and things.
Well,
That the casual fan, I don't even think pays attention to. It's like that granular of where you're going.
Bagging the drum's interesting to me because now I see it.
Yeah.
It's this.
Yeah.
And then that's interesting. And I think the other thing too is when you're a younger player, I think people weaponize film a little bit. They don't really look at it as a way to maybe improve their game. Some look at it, this guy isn't doing this, that sort of thing. I mean, I think it's important to avoid. And I think some of the young guys kind of use film for the wrong reason sometimes.
Yeah.
But your breakdown is very interesting. I never heard the term banging the drum, so I'm going to keep that with me now.
So between 2018 and 2019, you decide to leave Lock Haven. And you stay in state, but you drop down a division to Division 3, and I hate to use that because D3 are they're my guys, but you drop down into Delaware Valley, who is perennially one of the better Division 3 programs in the country. Just talk about your decision to move on to move schools and how that kind of all came together.
It was one, I was having a little bit of family issues back home, so. I wanted to be closer to home, closer to family, So that was a thing. And then coming out of high school, they was one of the schools that also recruited me. So it was like felt like home thing, The coach went to McDevitt. One of the coaches went to Bishop McDevitt. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm not at no program where I'm really taking a step down.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I'm at a program that's really a step up. So I looked at it like that.
And in the couple of years you played there, some great stats. I had 57 tackles, a couple of interceptions, and then 13 games. I think you guys probably got to maybe the quarters of the semis that year. You guys lost to North Central, but everybody's lost to North Central in the last 5 years, so that is what it is. And then 2020, obviously you deal with COVID, so you get. I think it's the way I'm gathering, and maybe I'm wrong, but it sounds like the extra COVID year, you were able to take the extra COVID year to finish off your stuff. I'm assuming get your degree as well. I saw that you were business administration is what I saw. So it sounds like that's what you went for. So that's obviously getting the degree. Again, we talk about the kids and you guys are role models. And it's like, hey, I play football, but I also got my degree. And then, you graduate and you leave Delaware Valley and you get done with it. And, tell me about the football life after that. Was it a matter of, okay, I still can play, or is it, hey, okay, now, I'm done with it? And tell me a little bit about that story, going from that to, a couple of years later, getting into the arena leagues.
Actually, believe it or not, I wasn't playing football. I was just working.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play football right after from college. I told my coach, I said, I don't think I want to play football no more. And he looked at me and he was like, are you crazy? I said, no, like I'm cool. Like,
honestly, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I used to run my own team and I used to do a lot of recruiting, and I was stunned how many guys after college are like, I'm straight.
Yeah.
I would bet that it's 50%.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's one of those things. Like I used to cover the wrestling team for the town of Bennington the school, and you get these kids that are Division I talents, and they go away and then they come back and they realize it's like a whole thing. But then they've been wrestling since they were 5, and then they go out at 18 or 19 and they've wrestled their whole life, and it's like that's all they've ever done. And I think sometimes football guys get that, where it's like you've been playing since you were 6 years old, and you get to like 21 or 22, and you're like, I'm kind of done. I love the game, but I'm done. Physically, I may be done. Mentally, I'm kind of over it.
It was more so like, everybody got dreams and aspirations of playing in the NFL.
Of course.
So like, I didn't look at the arena world. Like I just looked at NFL.
Yeah, that was it. That was the goal, and that was the only thing
I was being realistic. Like I'm a realistic person at the end of the day. You D3, 5'6", 5'7", 160, 150. Come on now. When it start getting political, it's slim to none.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna just take a step back.
So then how did you, go from that to make, going into this and playing in West Virginia of all places?
I actually started playing with Steel City Stampede.
Okay, so you're in Pennsylvania.
Yep, again in Pennsylvania. My college quarterback at Lockhaven, Caleb Walton, he actually told me to come play with them. One time he said, "Come see how you like it. Come to practice." I'm like, "All right, cool. Like, I'll come see how it is." I actually enjoyed it again. I'm like, "Oh man, I
You
still
started
got
getting the
it."
bug.
Yes, I'm like, "All right, I got it." I said, "All right, I'm having fun again." So, the difference was it was inside rather than outside. So
Oh,
the
it's a
space
different
was-
environment altogether.
Yeah,
Yep.
but but the thing is, it was football.
Mhm.
So you can't. It's like riding a bike. Once you start, you start remembering.
So how quickly was it after going to that practice that they were like, we see what you're about, and you need to be here. We need you.
It was actually like that. Right after that practice,
Right away. It was
right
like
after that
we
practice.
see it. We need this guy.
Yeah, right
Definitely
after
needs
that
to be here.
practice. And then I played. I ended up playing the first game we played against Willing Miners.
Mhm.
We lost. It's like 50-0.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, football wasn't fun again.
Nah, it was still fun though. I'm not even
No, I
gonna
got
lie
you.
to
I'm
you.
with
It was
you.
still fun, but they Willing end up picking me up like 2 games later.
Mhm.
So they end up giving me an opportunity. Shout out to Ben. Coach Raz, they gave me opportunity to play in Willing. So I took my chance, and ever since, I've been running with it. I went to Willing. Then later that year, I went to Duluth, Minnesota.
Mhm.
And then that next year, when Willing went in the NAL, I went back to Willing.
Mhm.
And then I
Rookie
went
of the
back
year,
to
by the way.
Duluth. Huh?
Rookie of the year, by the way.
Yes.
Yep, defensive rookie of the year for 2025.
And I got defensive player of the year in 2024.
Yeah.
So
you took an opportunity and
I
you literally ran with it
I literally ran with
and intercepted it. And
I don't remember who said it, but when you made your debut, and I think it was on a broadcast, this guy has been the guy everywhere. Is pretty. I don't know if it was Santello or guys, but somebody said something to that effect. Now you're here. I don't think your goal with this team is not to be the guy.
don't have to be.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So let's talk about the defense at least a little bit, because we had a little bit of a graphic that I'd like to try to put on here quickly. Let me see if I can locate it. And basically, it kind of gives us an idea of where the Albany defense is this year. So I'm going to put this on here, and you're going to see that Albany's first in points allowed,
30.8 per game.
They have the league's leading tackler by 20 tackles.
Drew him, as Coach Cesai says.
and the team
second in sacks with 22,
and only in second by a half a sack.
Yep. And it's just the numbers are like, that's why that's a big reason why you guys are 8-0. And then you come into that only a couple of weeks ago signing late May. Talk about just coming to Albany and being able to get up to speed so quickly, and B, join a group that's been really successful already, and then just adding to it.
The first thing was buying in. You had to buy into what the coaches was preaching before you got there. And then what the players is doing, like the culture. So if you buying in, you can adapt. Like I said, being around a bunch of dogs is only gonna make you a dog. So you gotta rise to the occasion. You seen the stats. It's a bunch of dogs on that defense. So
especially now, because you're like just kind of plug it in, like you're just trying to be a cog in that wheel. You know what I'm saying?
You just trying to make sure, and sometimes doing your job is doing enough. Like not doing, you gotta do more.
Well, you kind of mentioned it, a little bit before we got started. You were talking about being 1/8.
Yeah.
And if you can just do your 1/8, the other 7/8 will do what they need to do and get the job done.
That's it. It's a brotherhood.
Tell me some of the biggest difference between playing in like Wheeling and the other leagues, and then now AF1. AF1 definitely is one of the top leagues, when it comes to kind of that hierarchy. Talk about just playing in the AF1 and the kind of the difference, similarities and differences playing between, the NAL and then the AF1.
The speed of the game. when I first got here, it was definitely faster than I expected.
Mhm.
But then as I got in, like as I started to practice more and watch film, the game started to slow down. So now it's like the adjustment really the difference now realistically is I would say size.
Okay.
There's some major athletes who are on that field.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't think.
The casual fan doesn't
Well,
really see that.
I'm even saying it. I'm even saying it in terms of. I don't think I'd want to be the one standing across from Isaiah Scott at practice.
Man.
He's a big
This
fan.
guy is like 6'4" and like 230,
Uh,
or Ajay Hall.
yeah,
The dude runs over people. We saw it. We saw it happen against Oceanside,
yeah.
and then jumps over people. We saw that too. So again, I'm obviously being funny, but like the guy that when your best opponents are the guys in your practice facility, automatically you're going to be better.
You gotta be better. You know, when practice is harder than the games. You know, like you got iron sharpens iron. You know, so if we getting better at practice, you can only imagine at the games how it is. You know, because practice is more like a game, honestly.
Right, because the game should be fun.
The game should be fun.
The game should be, or the practice is the work. That's why they call it the work week.
Exactly.
The games is when you earn your paycheck.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Cashing them checks.
That's right.
Cashing them checks.
Well, let's talk about the next time you have to cash a check. That is Friday against the Michigan Arsenal. Talk about just a little bit of how preparation's going for the week, and obviously we still got a couple of days of practice. Just talk about how the preparation's been going for the Arsenal.
Preparation been good. You know, the main thing right now for honestly is making sure we recover properly. You know, because you cannot do anything, without the proper recovery, so we preparing the way we need to do on the field, but we also need to do what we need to do off the field, so
Sure.
we making sure right now our recovery stage is like top notch.
Just guys trying to stay as healthy as you can through
Yes,
through the grind of a 15-week,
Yeah.
16-week season.
Exactly.
So you've been a handful of places. What makes Albany's recovery process? Again, not trade secrets,
Mhm.
but how do you feel the way they do things help their athletes here versus elsewhere? It's a tough question.
That
to
is
ask
a tough question
because every
Yeah, we're
guy's
not because we're not.
different.
Yeah, obviously we're not saying like, oh, the Albany's is better.
yeah.
We're not saying it that way. But
It's
like,
more so
what are some of the things? Obviously, a lot of great sponsors. You get a chance.
resources.
Lots of great
Yeah,
resources.
It's a lot of it's definitely more resources, honestly speaking. Like the resources it's like you have like other places may have like one or two resources, but Albany got about 3 to 4 different resources that you can possibly use, but it's up to you if you're going to use them.
Right.
So that's definitely the difference. It's definitely extremely more resources than a lot of places I've been.
And speaking of the resources, I wanted to ask you about flock support. Obviously, we've only been here a couple of weeks, but already I'm sure you've either gotten a bag or gotten stuff from the flock support. And just talk about that. I mean, obviously, again, playing a lot of different places.
I wear my bracelet every day.
There we go. We got our orange bracelet with the footballs on it. I love that.
Who makes those? Do you know?
Who makes those?
I'm not sure.
I'll find out because
Yeah, we'll give them a plug for their
I've
bracelet.
seen everybody wear them, and I
Yes.
think that's an awesome thing.
I think this is probably one of the most memorable things I probably would like from anywhere I went. Like I got a lot of things. I got to like, I got a note one time, but like, I think the bracelet meant more than anything.
So talk about that kind of a support system. I mean, again, obviously other places have fans and they do their
Yeah.
thing, but they seem to do it differently here.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely the fans is definitely dialed in and tuned, and they show a lot of support. They actually care about the players. Like making sure that we feel welcome. Like not a lot of places make sure the fans don't make sure the players feel welcome. Because at the end of the day, we here to play a sport.
Well, I'm excited for you guys when you get to play in front of the
Yeah.
crowd at MVP Arena.
Yeah, 3,500 people, 4,000 people going crazy. This year we've had I don't even know how many times they've been called for false start penalties and stuff because the crowd's going nuts on fourth down.
Yeah.
That's got to be pretty awesome to be
Yeah.
a part of that. That they're going nuts like that for
Yeah.
you guys especially on defense.
It's definitely it helps us out because at that point you can't get the snap right.
What happened a couple times last weekend?
Yeah.
Actually, like one of the one of the bizarrest plays. It ended up being either a neutral zone or offsides, and I think Shepard. And like that's the most bizarre first down I've ever seen because nobody moved.
Yeah.
And they still gave him the first down, even though you guys recovered the ball. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I understand if there's a penalty, that is what it is. But nobody moved.
Yeah.
But speaking of guys that I would not want to stand in front of,
Yeah.
Kadir Shepard is a dog.
Yeah.
Dog times a million.
Yeah, you're literally around a bunch of dogs. Seriously, like you're around a bunch of dogs, and it's like
You get a little education.
yeah, and it's like again, look, I'm 5'6", 5'7". These guys is about 6 foot and over, and they all.
It's like okay, you know what then? So I'll give you a little bit of it for a Philly guy, right? Darren Sproles.
Yup, small guy.
That's your guy. That's the guy. That's the
Small
guy.
guy.
So gets it done no matter what.
So we've been working on the Opportunity Knocks roundtable,
Mm.
and we went through. And now those two guys, or the Kadir is different on its own. Morris Joseph is on his own, but going through I think they said they had 18 Division I guys.
Yeah, 15 Division I guys when
Yeah.
we started.
So
yeah.
I don't know how many are left, but that just goes to show you, guys like you rise to the top.
Yes, sir.
Well, he said that. He actually, and again, when this comes out officially, Coach Ware actually said, we brought in all these Division I guys. Some made it, some didn't. And he's like, I've got more small school guys than anything because they work their ass off. And, that, again, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work as hard.
Yes, sir.
Simple as that. All right. So, Dontae, we appreciate it. Sorry about all, with all the stuff going down and everything like that. We appreciate your time. We know it's precious, and we look forward to Friday and hopefully Albany getting to 9-0 and keeping that streak alive and getting one over on the Arsenal.
Yeah, sir. I appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for making time. And we'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you guys later.
All right.